Hi, Mom.
Let's take a look at why beloved actor Bruce Willis is retiring from acting in this episode of Out Loud Geek. Welcome to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss science fiction, fantasy, cooking, the outdoors, and more. After celebrating his 67th birthday and 13th wedding anniversary earlier this month, actor Bruce Willis has decided to retire from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia. Bruce's family shared the news of his aphasia diagnosis on Instagram on Wednesday, writing, "To Bruce's amazing supporters, as a family, we wanted to share that our beloved Bruce has been experiencing some health issues and has recently been diagnosed with aphasia, which is impacting his cognitive abilities. As a result of this, and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him," the caption added. They went on to say that it is really a challenging time for them all, and we are so appreciative of your continued love, compassion, and support. We are moving through this as a strong family unit and wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you as you do to him. As Bruce always says, live it up. And together we plan to do just that, they concluded, signing the note from Emma, Mabel, and Evelyn, plus Bruce's ex-wife, Demi Moore, and their daughters, Rumor Willis, Scout Willis, and Tallulah Willis. According to the Mayo Clinic, aphasia is a condition that robs you of the ability to communicate. It can affect your ability to speak, write, and understand language, both verbal and written. The group adds that the condition typically occurs suddenly after a stroke or a head injury, but it can also come on gradually from a slow-growing brain tumor or a disease that causes progressive, permanent degenerative damage. People with aphasia experience changes in their ability to communicate, the Mayo Clinic says, and they may speak in short or incomplete sentences, speak in sentences that don't make sense, substitute one word for another, or sound for another, speak unrecognizable words, not understand other people's conversation, or write sentences that don't make sense. Bruce's family has not disclosed the cause of his aphasia. Sadly, I'm personally all too familiar with aphasia. As someone I once knew and is no longer alive today, developed aphasia in his latter years of life. When he would try to respond to questions, he'd often say a word or phrase that was completely unrelated. If someone asked him, for example, "Would you like a drink?" his response might have been something like cat or blanket. Over time, his ability to understand what was being said to him seemed to be diminishing, which only made the situation more heartbreaking. So I have very strong sympathy for what Bruce Willis and his family are now facing, and I sincerely hope that the condition will improve with time. I have always liked Bruce Willis as an actor. Of his many films, one of my favorites is the science fiction film The Fifth Element, in which he plays retired soldier, flying taxi cab driver Corbin Dallas, who, while innocently driving his cab one day, experiences an accident when an unknown woman falls from a great height into his flying cab. The woman, played by Milo Jovovich and named Lilu, had been engineered thousands of years before to be part of an ancient weapon that's based on 5 elements, and she is literally the 5th element. The other 4 elements of air, fire, water, and earth are represented by 4 stones, and much of the movie's action is a pursuit by several groups to find the 4 stones. I also liked Bruce Willis in the supernatural fantasy thriller The Sixth Sense, in which he plays a child psychologist named Dr. Malcolm Crowe, and one of his patients, a 9-year-old boy named Cole Sear, and played by Haley Joel Osment, claimed that he could see and talk to dead people. As the film unfolds, it turns out that Dr. Crow is himself dead, having been shot and apparently killed at the beginning of the film by one of his other crazed patients. I also really liked Bruce Willis as the character Frank Moses in the graphic novel-based films Red and Red 2. Those were really fun films. Bruce Willis was also very good as the character Vincent Vega in the 1994 Quentin Tarantino film Pulp Fiction. And that is a true cult classic film. There are lots of people who love that film. He was, of course, also very good as the character Detective John McClane in the Die Hard series of films that began in 1988. Those films are a definite fan favorite. And there are lots of other films that he's done, and there are a number of films that will be coming out soon that he's also in. I truly wish the best for Bruce Willis and his family, and I do sincerely hope very much that his condition will improve with time. He's a very fine actor, a fine human being, and I wish only the best for him and his family. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button below. And if you'd like to see more of our videos in the future, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. And please feel free to leave a comment. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.